today, let's start with a little test. Do a little warm up and then see if you can catch a handstand. 1, 2, 3 seconds, come back down, go again. 1, 2, 3 seconds, come back down, go again. Now do exactly the same thing, but instead of kicking up, try jumping up to your handstand. 1, 2, 3, come back down. So we're just showing control at the top on each one. Again, 3 repetitions. Once we've done that, do exactly the same, but now not starting with the hands on the floor, starting with the weight in your feet, kicking up. 1, 2, 3, coming back down. 1, 2, 3, and then last one. 1, 2, 3. So what we're doing there is we're assessing ourselves, what's our catch like in different styles of kick-ups and jumps. And if you caught all 9 of those, no problem at all. You probably don't need this video. But if you struggle with those, this video is for you. So to improve your consistency, we need 2 main things. We need the consistency of the base, and we need a good window of balance. Our base is made up of 3 key components. 1, the hands. 2, the focal point. And 3, the shoulders. These make up the base, but they are also the controllers of the handstand. So now let's do another assessment. Let's video yourself from the side and do our kick-ups or our jumps to handstand. And we're going to look at those 3 things. The position of the hands, the position of the shoulders relevant to the hands, and the focal point. Where am I looking? So just go through your repetitions, your attempts, whether that's freestanding or to the wall, it doesn't matter. Exactly the same thing needs to be looked at. You can do the jumps, you can do the kick-ups, but we just want to look at where are your shoulders, where are your hands, where is your focal point, not only before you start, but during the kick-up and also the finish. Now don't change anything, just observe, see what you are doing. Now to create consistency and give yourself more chance to catch the handstand, we need to have the same setup every time. And the best way to do that to start with is to use something you can look at. So your focal point is there. I'm going to place the hands down and the focal point is roughly in line with the index fingers. And then my shoulders are going to go directly on top of my hands. Now, whether they go back a little bit or forwards a little bit doesn't really matter, but we just want to create that consistency to start with. And then come up into your kick-up position. Now, we want to compare the repetitions that you was just doing and see if it's the same. If it is the same, then great. And then watch what happens when you do your kick-up. Are you doing this with your shoulders? Are you doing this with your focal point? Or are you doing this? If you are, all I want you to do now is 100% concentrate on keeping everything stacked, everything in exactly the same place, and then go through your repetitions again of your kicks, whether it's freestanding or whether it's to the wall. And if anything changes, just make sure you correct it before the next repetition and just aim to have those things exactly the same. Now, you're not going to suddenly catch every handstand because you've corrected that base, because you can do this perfectly, but if you don't have that window of balance, the ability to go towards overbalance and towards underbalance and not fall down, then you're still not going to be able to catch every time or hold a decent handstand. We need both of those things. We need the base, we need the controllers, and we need to increase that window of balance. So next, let's use the wall and let's assess our window of balance. What's our overbalance and our underbalance like? So for the overbalance, we're going to use this technique. I'm going to put my head against the wall like so, and I'd highly recommend that you do this. So go into this position, put your hands behind your back, and then pull from the wall, and then go back to the wall again. Notice the energy in the feet when you tend to go forwards. Stop yourself just before the wall, lightly touch your head, and then come back again. And you'll notice how your feet are communicating with your head, and the controller is the feet, not the head and shoulders. Then we want to do exactly the same thing on our hands. So we're going to use that exact kick up that we just done. So hands, shoulders on top of hands, focal point, kick to the wall, squeeze the legs together. Now I'm going to push through my fingers, reach up tall, see if I can pull from the wall to handstand, and then go back again. If I can't do that, I need to practice that and build the strength to come on and off the wall, using the fingers, using that tension, using that reaching up to handstand, and going back again for repetitions. If it's easy, I can just hold for longer, and I can start to move the hands a little bit further away from the wall. That's going to increase the ability to go further towards our overbalance and pull back further. So this range is going to increase. So that's the overbalance. Now we need to look at the underbalance, going in the opposite direction. So this is underbalance. Watch how I kick up and I catch in that position. I'm now catching in my underbalance position, and I can pull all the way to my handstand, and I can go back to the underbalance position and come back down. So now we want to assess that. Do you have the ability to do that? Because that overbalance and that underbalance make up the window of balance. So now I'm turning the other way around. I'm coming chest to wall, squeeze the legs together. Now watch what happens. The shoulders come forwards, the toes drag down the wall until the toes come off, and then I push back up and back to the wall again. Shoulders, push up and go back to the wall. Now that one is a little bit trickier, but again, we want to work on repetitions. If you're scared or worried about that one, get someone to place their hands there. Or if you don't feel strong enough or ready to do that one, stick with the back to wall variation. And then over time, as you build strength and conditioning, you'll be able to start to play with that chest to wall version. But those two drills are going to create that window of balance, slowly make it bigger and bigger until you can get to the point where you can kick up to handstand and stay in your underbalance. You can go towards overbalance. So now I've got weight in the fingers and I'm falling towards the wall, but I'm not going that direction because I have the ability to stop myself. So I can move around between the overbalance and the underbalance, keeping the shoulders, the focal point, and the hands in control the whole time. At no point do my legs or my hips get involved too much, because that would be like standing on your feet and doing this, the same as when we're drunk. You can't stand up for long. When we're on our feet and we're standing, we want our feet, our knees, and the lower body is controlling our position. Our upper body is not taking over. It might be slightly involved, but at no point does that become the controller. If so, we would be doing this. Exactly the same, but opposite. We're in a handstand, hands, shoulders, focal point. And then for consistency, we need to have that set up 100% of the time, every time. So the cool thing is handstand balance is very, very simple. We only need to work on a couple of drills and we'll increase that window of balance. We only need to be consistent with our base, our shoulders, our focal point, and our hands. And then we need to be very consistent with training those things over and over again, day after day, week after week, until you can do all this subconsciously. You don't even need to think about it, and you'll be holding on your hands and adding on the presses, the handstand push-ups, and all the cool stuff. If you need more help with your training, check out my app or my website for online coaching. All the links are down below, and I'll speak to you in the next one.